Hawkins is about to reveal a chapter nobody expected. Tales from '85 isn't just an animated spin-off. It fills the silent gap between seasons 2 and 3, the exact moment when the town looked calm, but the Upside Down was still poisoning everything underneath. The new footage shows strange cold zones spreading through the woods, power lines buzzing at random, and underground tunnels pulsing like something alive. It's clear the gate left a scar, and Hawkins is starting to feel it. Streets flicker at night, crops die without warning, and a hum echoes through the forest like a warning that nobody can hear. The classic group returns: Eleven, Mike, Lucas, Dustin, Will, Max. But this time, the danger around them mutates faster and hides better. On top of that, a new character appears: Nikki Baxter. No history, no clear origin, just a girl who seems tied to whatever is waking up beneath the soil. Fans are convinced she plays a crucial role in exposing secrets the lab buried. Leaked descriptions point to new creatures born from leftover energy that seeped into Hawkins after the lab incident. These things don't look like demogorgons. They twist into shapes nobody has seen in the series before. Glowing spores drifting around farms, claw marks etched into metal, and shadow figures hovering near the edges of town. Something is evolving. Tales from '85 pushes the story wide open. Hidden events finally connect. Strange incidents during that year finally make sense. And it builds tension that season 3 never explained on screen. This video breaks down what's coming, who's involved, and how this series may reshape the entire Stranger Things timeline. Before we dive into the full analysis, make sure you hit like and subscribe. '85 brings the Stranger Things crew back to a moment where everything in Hawkins felt calm on the surface, but tension sat right under their skin. The series recreates the full lineup: Eleven, Mike, Dustin, Lucas, Will, and Max, exactly as we remember them from the aftermath of season 2. But instead of recreating their live-action look shot for shot, the animation gives each character more intensity, more movement, and more emotional range than we've ever seen. Eleven carries the weight of her powers differently. In animation, her expressions shift faster, fear hits harder, her anger snaps quicker, and her powers look sharper and more unstable. Will feels more fragile, almost haunted, and the animators amplify every tiny reaction he has to the lingering presence of the Upside Down. Dustin is pure chaos, bouncing around, theorizing, and dragging the group into trouble with a level of energy the original series could never match. Lucas comes off braver, more focused, and way more tactical, and Max adds that rebellious edge she always had, but with more nuance in her body language and attitude. The biggest surprise is how well the new voice actors fit. Fans were worried the characters would sound off, but the voices match the personalities so smoothly that after a few moments it feels natural, familiar even. Each voice actor leans into the character's original tone without trying to copy it exactly. Mike has the same stressed out leadership style. Eleven still carries that strange mix of innocence and raw power, and Dustin sounds like he's 2 seconds away from blowing something up, which tracks. The chemistry is still the strongest part. The banter feels quick, the arguments hit harder, and the emotional beats land with more clarity. And thanks to animation, the group moves as one unit, running, reacting, panicking, in sequences that would have taken weeks of filming in live action. Here, it looks fluid and alive. This isn't a reset, it's not a watered down side project. It's the Stranger Things crew in a format that finally lets their world stretch beyond practical effects and real world limits. They feel younger, but sharper, more expressive, but still grounded. And as the story escalates, this animated version of the cast becomes the perfect way to explore things season 3 only hinted at. Tales from '85 doesn't recycle the creatures we already know. There are no familiar silhouettes, no Demogorgon roars, no season 1 nostalgia. The danger in this series evolves into something stranger, something that feels born after the gate collapsed, not before it. The teaser shows quick flashes, glowing spores drifting across frozen fields, deep claw marks on metal doors, and a shadow moving with a shape that refuses to stay still. Whatever is crawling out in '85 isn't a creature with a stable form. It looks unstable, almost glitching between shapes, like it's learning how to exist in our world. The Upside Down left fragments of energy behind after the lab incident, and it seems those fragments are twisting into new life. They're raw, unpredictable, and much harder to understand than the monsters we met in earlier seasons. One shot in the trailer shows a pumpkin patch collapsing inward, as if something is breathing beneath the soil. Another shows a school hallway covered in a thin web of blue-white fungus that reacts to light, almost pulling away like a living organism. These hints make it clear Hawkins isn't dealing with a single creature this time. It's dealing with a spreading influence that corrupts whatever it touches. The characters aren't facing an enemy they can chase down. Instead, the danger surrounds them silently, changing the environment first, then revealing whatever's behind it. The new creatures feel more like evolutions of the Upside Down itself. Less animal, more elemental. Something that doesn't hunt but expands. Something that doesn't stalk but consumes space until there's nowhere left to run. The show uses animation to push the horror further than live action ever could. Movements are sharper, transformations more disturbing, and the designs follow no pattern or rule. Each encounter looks different from the last, which makes the threat impossible to predict. This is a new era of Upside Down creatures, born from leftover energy, shaped by chaos, and completely unfamiliar. Tales from 85 isn't just adding monsters, it's redefining what the Upside Down can create. Tales from 85 fills a gap the main show never explored. After season 2 ended, Hawkins looked peaceful, the gate was closed, the demodogs were gone, and the town finally felt normal again. But that calm was an illusion. Season 3 jumps forward almost a year, and the characters are older, lighter, and acting like the worst is behind them. What happened during that missing time? The new animated series answers the question the live-action show skipped over. This chapter reveals that the Upside Down didn't disappear. Its energy stayed trapped under Hawkins like a buried infection. Strange pulses rippled underground. Temperatures dropped in random spots around the woods. Electric lines buzzed when nothing was feeding them. While everyone thought the threat was gone, something was rebuilding itself out of sight. This is the year Will tries to pretend he's okay, even though he still feels cold flashes that don't match any memory he can explain. This is the period when Eleven struggles with her powers flickering at random, as if something is interfering with her connection to the other side. And this is where the group first notices small incidents. Dying plants, vanishing pets, sudden bursts of static in radios, details they never told anyone in season 3. Tales from 85 finally shows those moments. The group doesn't know it yet, but they're standing on top of a network of leftover Upside Down tunnels that never fully died. The Mind Flayer's influence didn't vanish. It sank deeper, waiting for the moment it would come back stronger. And this series captures that slow awakening. Hawkins becomes a ticking bomb, not explosive but corrosive. The environment warps silently. Snowstorms feel unnaturally cold. Shadows stretch in ways that don't line up with light sources. The kids are too young to understand what they're seeing, and the adults aren't noticing anything at all. By the time season 3 begins, the town is already compromised. We just never saw how it happened. Tales from 85 uncovers that part of the timeline, showing the exact steps that lead to the supermarket rats mutating, the tunnels reopening, and the Mind Flayer finding a new host. This isn't background lore, it's the missing chapter that makes season 3's chaos suddenly make sense. Tales from 85 doesn't just revisit familiar faces, it introduces new characters who shift the story in directions we never expected. At the center is Nikki Baxter, a mysterious girl whose presence immediately raises questions. She doesn't have a backstory yet, but the trailer hints that she's connected to the lingering energy of the Upside Down, possibly tied to Hawkins' lab in ways the original series never revealed. Nikki isn't a simple ally. She's unpredictable, resourceful, and appears at critical moments, sometimes saving the main group, sometimes leaving them in the dark. Her interactions with Eleven are especially tense. The series teases conflict and curiosity as both try to understand each other's connection to the supernatural. Other new faces appear briefly, hinting at expanded storylines and subplots that explore the town from fresh perspectives. Some look like locals who stumbled onto unexplained events, while others could be tied directly to the expanding threat of the Upside Down. Even short glimpses suggest these characters will influence decisions, betray trust, or uncover secrets the main group overlooked. The introduction of new characters also allows the animated series to explore emotional layers the live action couldn't. Conflicts are sharper, moral dilemmas appear earlier, and the stakes feel bigger because these characters aren't bound by prior audience attachment. Everything they do can shock, surprise, or change the game. Tales from 85 uses these additions to expand the scope of Hawkins, showing that the town isn't just about the main kids anymore. The world grows wider, the danger becomes more unpredictable, and the narrative stakes are higher because these new players can't be predicted. By the end of the first episodes, it's clear Hawkins isn't the same town, and the story isn't the same story. This isn't filler or fan service. These characters are essential to uncovering what the Upside Down left behind, setting up mysteries that could resonate far into the Stranger Things timeline. Tales from 85 isn't just an isolated story. Every moment, every new creature, and every character introduced has the potential to reshape what we thought we knew about Hawkins and the Upside Down. This animated series dives into events that were hinted at but never shown in the main show, filling gaps in the timeline and providing context for decisions characters made in later seasons. By exploring the period between seasons 2 and 3, Tales from 85 reveals the slow creep of the Upside Down's influence, energy that remained trapped underground, waiting to resurface. It explains anomalies, strange occurrences, and hints dropped in season 3 that never had clear answers. Suddenly, small details from the live-action show make sense. The mysterious cold spots, unexplained power surges, and the unsettling behavior of Hawkins' residents. New characters like Nikki Baxter aren't just side stories. Their actions could affect the main cast in ways that ripple forward. Choices made in these episodes may explain why certain events unfolded in the seasons we already know, adding weight and depth to the universe. Even seemingly minor encounters with new monsters or environmental hazards could connect to larger threats still lurking in the Upside Down. The series also sets a precedent for exploring Stranger Things lore in different mediums. Animated storytelling allows scenes that would be impossible in live action, creatures morphing in real time, entire landscapes overtaken by supernatural forces, and sequences that expand the scale of danger far beyond Hawkins' borders. This isn't just visual flair, it's narrative expansion, giving fans a broader understanding of the Upside Down's reach and complexity. In short, Tales from 85 strengthens the foundation of the Stranger Things universe. It fills in history, introduces new players, explains mysteries, and lays seeds that could grow into major storylines in the future. For anyone who thought the Upside Down story ended when the gate closed, this series proves that Hawkins' nightmares are far from over. Tales from 85 isn't just filling in the gaps, it's rewriting how we see Hawkins, the Upside Down, and the stakes for everyone we love. New monsters, hidden stories, and characters like Nikki Baxter prove that the threats never really went away, and the town is far more dangerous than it seemed. This animated chapter gives fans the missing pieces of the timeline, deeper insight into the Upside Down's influence, and a glimpse at events that shape the seasons we already know. Every reveal, every creature, every shocking moment expands the universe in ways the main show could only hint at. So, if you're ready to dive into every secret Hawkins is hiding, hit like, smash subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any breakdowns, leaks, or theories about Tales from 85 and the Stranger Things world. The Upside Down is waiting, and we'll be here to explore it with you.